Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got back from the theaters after seeing, what's this? Jurassic World Rebirth? I think that's what this one is called. It's a 2025 film that was directed by Gareth Edwards, who I was like, that name looks familiar. I looked him up and I'm like, oh shit, he did Rogue One? And a bunch of other stuff, but like Rogue One. This guy directed Rogue One. Holy fuck. Victory is inevitable. Yes. Oh, yes. How was I not the MVP? So this movie, I guess I could get into the plot, I guess. But I really want to emphasize the fact that I am a huge, tremendous, ginormous fan of Jurassic Park. The original! Because you could argue that there has never been a good sequel to Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, that all of these movies in this franchise, other than the original, has been just there. And has been coasting off of the good name of the first film. And look, I'm not going to say that like every movie's horrible. I do have my nostalgia about The Lost World. And I know some people like Jurassic Park 3. There are people who even like Jurassic World 1. And I understand that. I'm not going to argue that. But those last two Jurassic World movies kicked my ass to the point where I was not excited for this movie. Where I was not anticipating this. This was almost like, oh yeah, this is coming out, huh? Alright. I guess I'll check it out. You have Scarlett Johansson, who's playing Zora Bennett. And she's, I guess, a mercenary. It's like they kind of say that, but kind of not. And she gets her whole crew together because she gets hired to go to Island 3, or is it Island 4? I've lost track of how many islands there are at this point. But this is an island that's been abandoned because this is where scientists were doing like ultra experiments, not just the regular experiments to create the dinosaurs. No, they're doing experiments because they purposely made monstrosities, they purposely made deformed creature versions of dinosaurs. Why? I mean, they say in the movie that like, oh, the general public, people just don't care about dinosaurs anymore. And I feel like we said that in the Chris Pratt Jurassic World movies. I feel like we've already done this plot to at least some extent, where they were trying to do experiments and create their own dinosaurs, and like that went horribly wrong. So if you're telling me that in this movie there's an island where scientists tried to make different types of unique dinosaurs and that went horribly wrong, so they gave that up, why were they doing that again in Jurassic World 1 and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But logic and consistency is something I should not be trying to look for. So Scarlett Johansson is hot as hell, and that's kind of the best I can say about her. Because I don't know, man. There's something about really everybody in this movie. I'm going to attribute it more to the writing. That the writing is just bad. That like the characters' backstories is super generic and super bare bones and not a lot of substance to it. It's just a lot of like tell you as opposed to showing you, or as opposed to making you actually feel and empathize with what they're talking about, or why I should relate to them or feel for them. Like, I don't. If there's any part of me that likes anything about these characters, it's just because I like the actors, because I like Scarlett Johansson, because I like Mahershala Ali. There's nothing written about Mahershala Ali that's interesting. Oh, he lost his son. Okay. Really? That's the extent of it? And everybody else is pretty much fodder. Like, everyone else that you either don't know the actors, it's like, well, we know why they're there. There's another actor, Jonathan Bailey, who plays... he's the dinosaur expert. He's just along for the ride because he knows shit. And so they kind of try to tease and flirt that maybe him and ScarJo's character might have a romance. It's not overt, it's not in your face, but it's like the most I got out of anything going on with them. Ed Skrein is here, if you guys remember that actor. Robert Friend plays the asshole Dick Rich guy, because you always have to have one of those in a Jurassic Park movie. And speaking of checking things off the list of things to have in a Jurassic Park movie, you have this random ass family who is here. They were randomly taking a family trip on a boat out into the middle of the ocean, and they somehow got wound up with this crew. So they somehow got wound up on this island, and you spend all of these scenes of the family and specifically the kids. You have to have a Jurassic World, Jurassic Park movie where there are kids in danger. They almost feel like they can't just have a Jurassic Park movie without having kids in danger. And this felt forced. Whenever they do this, and they do this in every single one of these movies, it always feels forced, right? It always feels like, oh, well, that's completely unnecessary. This is the most forced it's ever felt. Dragging a family in, dragging kids in. And the attempt at humor was cringe. It was, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I know what you're doing, and these jokes are terrible, or these dialogues is terrible of me trying to supposedly like the boyfriend of one of the daughters, which I don't, or like, oh, let's have some awkward moments between that boyfriend and the father, but none of that works. Oh, let's have this little girl have this new relationship with this baby dinosaur that she now is taking as a pet, which I'm like, what? What the fuck is any of this bullshit? Now, when you get to the mutated dinosaurs, I mean, there's other scenes with other dinosaurs that I guess are decent as far as if you want to talk about action, like the dinosaur that's in the water, right? I just call it the Megalodon, even though that's not what it is. And you have like a pterodactyl type thing, so like some decent action there. You have a decent T-Rex chase in the water, but I didn't feel anything. Maybe I'm dead inside. Maybe I'm just at the point where I'm so desensitized to this franchise and to everything that I feel like we've been there, done that before, that I didn't feel anything as far as tension for the characters or fearful of any of them dying. I didn't care really if any of them died. I can say some decent things about maybe the effects and about some of the dinosaur stuff. The whole mutatedness, I just can't get into that. I can't pretend to get into that. I can't pretend to think that's a good idea or it's a cool idea. Maybe there's somebody else that you can watch who will sit here and say, oh, that's really cool that they did mutated dinosaurs because it's different, or because, even though it's not different. But, you know, I guess it's just not nothing but T-Rexes and Velociraptors, which is like, well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with real dinosaurs. I don't need to have special mutated dinosaurs to try to make this feel any scarier. I mean, if you have characters who are likable, if you have characters who are written well, if you have characters that I give a shit about so that there's tension when they're in danger, we're off to the races. I feel like it doesn't take much, or it shouldn't take much, or it shouldn't be that hard. Look, I'm not going to say that this is the worst Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movie ever, because there's been some bad. Dominion was bad. Fallen Kingdom was bad. Believe me, this isn't that bad. But there's a bigger part of me that's sitting here, and I would be lying if I said that I wasn't bored, or I'd be lying if I said that I was very apathetic to everything going on in this movie. I just had no emotion. I had no visible, audible reaction to anything going on. I was kind of just sitting there checking the time. I would give this a Netflix and chill.
Oh yeah.
And that's me being super nice, super not mean, because I could go harder, but I feel like I'd be lying if I said it's the worst one. I really would. I don't feel right saying something like that, but boy, oh boy, do I wish we just ended these movies. I thought Dominion was going to be the last one, but man, it's like they don't have anything else. Universal, they need to make money, or they're desperate to make money. Aren't they going to do Fast and Furious Part 25? It's like they need this shit. I get it. Let me know in the comments below. What did you think of Jurassic World Rebirth? If you're wondering, like, why aren't you giving it a some old bullshit or it's like, because I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm just apathetic. Like I said, I'm just over it. I'm over it. But I could definitely see why other people who aren't as attached to the franchise, or maybe somehow this is their first one, they could be into it more than I was. Definitely no reason to see it in theaters. And I usually would never say that about a Jurassic Park movie. I would say all of them you should at least see in theaters for the scope and the effects, but I don't feel like this needs to be, or you need to see this in theaters at all. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!